consent relates to first aid by the patient giving you permission to treat them. Okay? There's two types of consent. What type of consent would be if I came over here and I said, "Hi miss, I see that you have a cut on your leg. Would you like me to help you clean it up? I'm trained in first aid. I can put a bandage on that for you." And she says, "Okay." What am I doing when I'm talking to her?
First thing that people are worried about is that somehow it'll be their fault if something bad happens when they try to help another. And so we've always found this to be the very first thing that we have to say to a potential rescuer or first aider is, you're doing your best. You don't have to be an emergency room doctor. You don't have to be a professional paramedic with 10 years of experience. You just have to do what you can do to help the person. And so we try and set the students at ease by telling them that these things that you're going to be doing, that we're going to be teaching you to do, are to make the patient better, to help. But don't fear about being punished by the patient or by others because you tried to help them.
We do not have any first aid kit at our school, so that's a very important one for us right now that we're working on, that we're for fundraising so we can purchase a first aid kit. So those are our two main things: educating the students so they're well versed in first aid, and having an idea of how to react or what to do whenever an incident happens, whether at school or even in the community, wherever they are in their communities.
After the training, first aid training, I want them to re-echo that training to other people, like to other students. I want them to develop that sense of responsibility and that voluntarism.
I hope that the students could use whatever skills they will be gaining and use it in situation, not only at the home setting, but in any environment that they come across with these situations. So I expect them to practice and not just gain knowledge, but to render help when needed.
I'm a firm believer that the students are a fantastic starting point, especially at the high school level. They're the people that are going to be out in the community, that are going to see these accidents happen. They're active, they're playing, they're going to be at sporting events, this sort of thing. So they're going to be the ones that are going to be the first responders. So if we can deliver this basic first aid training to start with at this student level, we know that it's going to get out there throughout the entire community.
So that includes ventilation as well as that's the delivery of
Annie Mae and Melody begin the training with the nursing staff. They only have an hour to teach, but they're confident they'll be able to cover all of the material.
Before you put one of these collars on, you have to properly measure it because, of course, some people's necks are longer than others or shorter than others. So you want the proper size so it's going to fit properly. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 3 fingers and you're going to measure just about here, and you want the measurement.
I didn't know what to expect. So typically when we come to Belize, we teach pre-hospital medicine. Some of these nurses have been to a 4-year university program, so they work here in healthcare, so it was a little different. So what we covered was respiratory assessment. We went through anatomy, physiology of an airway and the respiratory system. We also covered what a normal respiratory rate would be like, what vital signs you might see in someone with respiratory distress, head tilt, jaw thrust, and chin lift, which are some basic procedures that you can do for somebody who's having difficulty with their respirations or difficulty breathing.
Nurses are always compassionate people. And I saw that today, that they, they care about their patients and they treat them to the best of their ability. And they're truly caring people, and I got that from them today, that they're here, they want to do the best that they can.
That's really the same as what we do in Canada as we do here in Belize. It's maybe a little bit more dressed up at home, but at its root, it's really about a human being helping another human being when they really need the help. So when you're pressing out that heart, imagine you're pressing the blood from the heart to the brain, keep the person alive.
So for you guys, there's no more pulse checks, so you don't have to worry about checking for a pulse. If your patient is unresponsive, what this guy is, and they're not breathing, we start CPR. Guys, did any mannequins wake up?
No.
None of them talk back to you?
Hopefully not.
So what can she do so that she can get closer to me over a 90-degree angle? Look at this. She lifts my arm up. She now gets in almost a foot closer, 10 to 12 inches closer to me, which now allows her to get directly over me at a 90-degree angle. So Florita, you put your hands on me where you'd want to do CPR. From this side. That's right. Can you reach over?
Way too far.
See the problem? So now what if you do this? There, right? See the difference, guys?
Do it fast. Okay. Do it fast and keep your shoulders over the chest, keep your elbows locked, and use your body weight to do it. And lean your body right onto the chest like that. Just lean your body. Don't even move your arms. See?
After a few hours of learning and even some laughs, it's time to say goodbye. But the Bandage team has a parting gift for the students of Sacred Heart College.
Pretty much had it for today, I think, right? So a couple things. First of all, I want to thank you guys for coming. I want to thank you guys for having us here as well. We're happy to be here. I hope you guys learned some stuff today, did you? Yeah, did you enjoy it? Yeah, awesome. We want to present this to your guys' school. It's a fully stocked 50-person, 196-item first aid kit for your school, okay? And you guys also told me that you guys wanted to come up with little pocket kits for each individual person. So everybody that's in here is going to get a little pocket pouch first aid kit for themselves. You asked for a nebulizer machine and a blood pressure cuff. We got both for you. And we got about 25 nebulizer masks and stuff for you guys as well to have for the school, and a blood pressure cuff for you for the school. And you asked for stuff for your academic room, for the library, for after school programs. And I don't have it all out on display. It's back there. It's like a suitcase full of stuff. We got pencils, erasers, rulers, geometry sets, tons of stuff back there for you guys for your programs. So everybody might as well come up and shake my hand and get your personal first aid pouch. Good job.
To have that many secondary school kids show up on a Sunday, that's totally impressive. You know, I'm very impressed by these kids, and the energy and the effort that they put into it today is off the charts.
Good job, guys. We think it's a great thing that you're doing at your school for yourselves and for your community. It's hard work to get our team to Belize, and it's hard work while we're there. But when the training is over and you see the smiles on these kids' faces, it's all worth it. It makes it hard to move on to the next town.
Tonight, the team will get some deserved and much needed rest. Tomorrow, they face an all-day journey with a drive to Belize City and a flight to Punta Gorda. With a long trip ahead of them, the Bandage team gets an early start. On the way, they take a detour for some sightseeing. They stop at Calpec, the site of one of Belize's many iconic Mayan ruins. It's a reward for the volunteers, and a great way to learn about the area's deep historic roots.
It is a huge part of their history, so it's going to be pretty exciting to experience that. It'll give me a better understanding of the people and where they've come from.
To experience Belize firsthand is important, not just to read about the country online or in a book, but to actually visit. For my team to go cave tubing or to visit the Mayan ruins, these are all things that are off the beaten path. They will learn a ton and have something to talk about when they meet the students. And it's a lot of fun. After all, they are here volunteering their time.
Seeing the team walk the ruins was a reminder of how important this is to Belize. The history of this place is captivating, And it was a nice reminder, a nice segue into the next chapter of our mission.
On the way to Punta Gorda, we stopped by Belize City. I really wanted to touch base with the Red Cross there. These are some of the people that make our mission in Belize possible.
We look to people like Bandage, organizations like Bandage, who have had wider exposure to new techniques and to actually experiencing and practicing. They have brought innovative ways, new techniques to first aid. I've been here 8 years now, and I think every year since then, they've been coming back to Belize and working very closely with the Belize Red Cross.
I lost my brother in 2012, and he fell on the basketball court, and nobody could do nothing but watch him.
He fell on the basketball court?
Yeah, he just passed out. And
he just collapsed?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and he was training his students in some basketball drills, and he fell, and because nobody knew.
Nobody knew CPR?
Yeah.
You know, talking to people, that's where it really comes down. When you start talking to the local Belizeans and you understand the need and you understand their willingness to learn and the difference that you're making, and when you hear stories of the stuff that happens, wow.
Ryan Nemhard works for the Red Cross, and today he's in Belize City. He recognizes that Daryl truly cares about the people here. He tells him about his brother, Ian Chavez, who was an important member of the community and a young father when he died.
He was a teacher in the school in Georgetown.
School teacher?
Yeah.
And what grades was he teaching?
I think that would be like 6th grade. My cousin, who is a nurse, was, newly graduated, actually. She was there, and she was the one that helped, tried, but by the time she got there, it kind of been too long.
It was an unfortunate event for your brother, but I guess you look on the positive side of things of the community now knows that the importance and there's a need. That's right.
There's been a big push from the Red Cross to want to make it a national thing.
Right.
Include teachers and, anybody that deals with the public.
Right.
Tour guides.
That's what works, man. When you have somebody that's 27 years old and collapses like that, bystander CPR is what saves people, right? And early access to defibrillation, that's what saves people. And that's agree. It's not the glamorous, advanced life support, emergency departments and all this stuff. It's the people with him knowing how to do CPR, having access to a defibrillator, and that's what saves lives, right?
It's so crazy. All the kids could have done was hold him, because that's all they knew.
To hear Ryan's story about his brother was hard. To know how preventable it really was. If someone knew CPR, he might have been given a chance to be with us today. Ryan and his brother are from a town only minutes from Punta Gorda. That's why we go to PG. That's why every year we travel to Belize.